And gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. You are tuned in to Big Mike's blog. I'm your humble, awesome host, Big Mike, coming to you from my beautiful abode, my home. Welcome. I hope everyone's doing good out there. I hope you're having a blessed weekend. So today's blog is, and I kind of was thinking about doing this blog a few weeks ago, and I kind of was torn, and then I kind of just said, screw it, I'm going to just do it and see what happens. So I've done blogs, like I said, as you guys know, guys who've been watching me and following me for the past few years. You guys know that I've been doing vlogs for a better part of 4 years now. So in 2015, I did a fair amount of vlogs on, a lot of them were on relationships, okay? And some range from interracial dating to my dating experiences to do I like no sex or good sex, stuff like that. So I kind of felt like I wanted to kind of update my stances on some of the things, some of the dating apps. Like, for example, I did do a recent vlog on my dating experiences going forward, and just kind of my stances on dating in 2000 going forward from 2019 onwards. So if you haven't watched that, feel free to check it out. Before I go any further, if you're watching this and you like it, like, comment, subscribe. Feel free. If you don't, it's okay, no pressure. But I just feel like I need to say that. So anyway, without further ado, I'll get kind of started. So the vlog today topic I'm going to discuss is going to be on my stance on interracial dating. Okay. Now, if you've watched my vlog in 2015 on interracial dating, and the reason why I've kind of talked about this is because a lot of people, particularly women that I've come in contact with, have watched that particular vlog. And they've said that they liked it and they appreciated my honesty and my candor in it. So I felt like, seeing that 4 years has passed since me doing that vlog, and a fair amount has changed since then, I kind of wanted to give my take on my experiences, I guess, dating my race or talking to women in my race, and I guess just going forward, my stances on interracial dating going forward. So I will say that over the past 4 years, I will say that, because like I said before, I think there was this perception of me years ago that I only dated white women. Okay. And while that was true, a majority of the women that I did talk to, did date, did hang out with were Caucasian. It wasn't because that was my choice, that I wanted to only exclusively date white women. That was never the choice. A lot of it was just women that I would talk to, or black women that I would talk to, either we didn't click, or there was just, or they didn't talk to me, or whatever the case may be, or things kind of fizzled out. So then I ended up gravitating towards, and again, I'm not a person who sees race. When it comes to dating, I don't really care about race. It's more about my vibe and my feel for the person I'm talking to. You know what I'm saying? If I vibe with them and we click and we can have a good conversation, I like that, so I'm all in on that. So, but I would say recently, because back then that was the case. I would say recently now, I would say I've been talking to a fair amount of black women now. To be quite frank with you, in the beginning, because I've had weird experiences with black women in terms of dating in the past, whereas some of them kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I felt weren't fully into me as I was into them. Like, what I mean by that is, like, I was really feeling them. I liked them. I made it be known that I liked them. And then they kind of got weird. And this is when I was younger and I really just only dated black women, or for the most part, right? And you also have to factor in, I lived in Guyana for 3 years, so there's no white women there. So any girls that I dated in Guyana were black. I don't think I dated any other race outside of my race for the better part of that period of time. So I think the problem was, like, with some black women that I encountered, that they just weren't, I just had bad luck with, I'll just say this, I can't really explain it, but I guess the best way to explain it is I had very, very bad luck with black women, unfortunately. So it got to a point where I just said, you know what, maybe I need to kind of explore my other options. So as you guys know, I split up from my ex, and my ex was Armenian. So actually, when I was in New Orleans, in Nashville, I went to visit my family in Nashville and New Orleans a few months ago. And my sister was like, do you talk to black women? She had kind of posed that question. And actually, I have been. Not because I'm forcing myself to. It's not that. It's just I've actually, oddly enough, been coming across black women that I really click with and like. I guess the problem is now with me where I'm struggling, unfortunately, is that those women either our talking kind of fizzles out and we'll talk for a good period of time, and then they just kind of we either ghost each other or whatever. Or I run into black women where like, or just like, but mostly black women. I don't want to single them out, but some black women in terms of this as well. And I've had other women do this with me too, which turns me off. But I find black women do this more with me. And I said this to my sister, that I think the one thing with me, and I guess a tip if you really want to get to know me, is I really generally don't like being asked right away to tell me about myself. And the reason being is I work in social services. I actually work as an employment counselor or vocational rehab consultant. So I basically do mock interviews. I do mock prep and stuff like that. I don't want to get to a point. I mean, and I feel like when I'm asked that question, I feel like I'm on a job interview, where I feel like I have to sell myself. I would much rather us just have a regular old conversation. And then from there, you can kind of get to know me based off of that. But when I get asked that right away, to be honest with you, I get a little like, tense, because then I'm like, okay, what the fuck do I say? And I ran into that with one girl where I was talking to her, and I had said, kind of gave a little blurb about myself. And she was like, no, I want to know more. And I was just like, what the fuck more do you want? Do you like my blood and urine sample? Like, I don't know what more you want at that point. And I just kind of got a little turned off by that, because I'm more of the notion and mindset that I really just want to build something solid with someone over time. Okay. I want to get to know someone over time. So when I'm asked that right away, I get turned off. And then another thing too, that black women will tend to ask me, obviously, is, but I think most women ask me this anyway, is what are you looking for? And I feel like when I'm asked that question, I instantly get semi turned off by that too. Because then I feel like, okay, obviously, I feel like I end up saying the same thing. And it just feels like a redundant conversation rather than us just having a natural flowing conversation. I feel like with some women, whether it be black, mostly black, but then other women kind of have this checklist that they need to ask a guy. And if he hits everything on that checklist, then we can talk. And I'm just like, I just feel like it's not natural to me. And I believe in just having a natural, regular old conversation, not you ask me questions on your fucking list that I got to check off in order for us to continue talking. So I think that's kind of what I've run into. And then I've had some women, like black women, assume certain things about me early on, like on dating apps. For example, like on my profiles on one of my the dating apps that I'm on, Bumble, I believe I'm back on, I have a picture of me and the rapper Rhapsody on there. And me and her took a picture together. So, I mean, I don't want to go into a long story about that. Who knows? I might do a vlog about that, about how I ended up meeting with Rhapsody and taking a picture with her and Big Crit, the rappers from the South. But I have a picture of her on my profile picture. And I guess the amount of women who have asked me, is that your girlfriend? While I'm flattered, I mean, shit. If Rhapsody, a Grammy nominated, one of the best rappers in the game right now, female rappers in the game right now, if you want to say that she's my girlfriend, I will take that to the bank, even though that's not the case. And I would, I'd love to start that rumor, but I can't. I just think that I feel like I'm always on pins and needles with certain things that I got to answer for. And I think in terms of some black women, it's kind of made me feel like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, you're going to just, like, one girl, like, I was on Bumble, for example. I'll give you the reason why. So I was on Bumble one day. This girl matched with me. She messaged me back within 10 minutes. I was like, oh, this girl's dope. She messaged me back right away. Because usually with Bumble, I either get no messages or whatever the case may be. So she messaged me back right away. And then she was like, is that your girl? I'm like, no. And she's like, okay. And I was like, that's the first thing you're going to say to me? Not, hi, how you doing? Not like have a conversation and then ask, oh, who's that girl in the picture? I can answer. I have no problem with that. Because but I can't even single her out because I had another girl do the same thing. on another app, and I have a description on the picture of who it is and everything. So when the girl was like, "Oh, is that your girl?" I have to ask you, "Is that your girlfriend on there?" I'm like, "No," and I'm like, "Why would you think that's my girlfriend?" And she's like, I'm like, "I wouldn't be on a dating app if I had a girlfriend." And she was like, "Well, I don't know. Maybe you're into like a +1 type of situation." I'm like, "No." And I said, if you took like 5 minutes to actually click on the description of the picture, you would have seen what I said. And I think that bothers me because I've seen girls with pictures of guys on their profiles, and I don't automatically assume that's their man. So for girls to do that with me, I think that kind of, safe to say, it irritates me a bit, and it kind of turns me off from talking to them because I'm thinking that that's the way you think. I don't know if that's someone I'd want to date, because you could have easily just asked me the question and I could have answered it. I have nothing to hide. I have no reason to lie either. But I guess other guys do it, so they just assume that I'm doing it. So, which is unfortunate, unfortunately for me, because that means for me I can't really vibe with you if that's your mindset and that's the way you think. For me, at least. Other guys can maybe not care, but for me, I get turned off by that type of stuff. So, but to say all that negative stuff, I will say positively, like I've actually had very, very good interactions with some black women, like honestly. And 4 years ago, I couldn't really say that. So, and I've always loved black women. So I've always wanted to talk to black women, and but I've just never, for whatever reason. But this time around, I've actually had really, really good experiences with black women, and I love black women. I think black women are beautiful, amazing, strong women, and I'm not intimidated by a black woman at all. I just think some black women, for whatever reason, we don't click. But I will say, like I said, over the past few months, I have had really good interactions with some black women. Some have lasted, some haven't, but I'm very, it's been good. I've been fruitful. So not to say that it's going to lead anywhere to relationships and dating and stuff like that, but I would say that my interactions with them, in terms of talking with them and clicking with them and us having good conversations and letting the conversation just flow, those have been dope. So I'm very happy about that. But again, my stance really hasn't really changed in terms of my feelings on dating and interracial dating, to be honest. So sorry to spoil it for you. I would just say that in terms of the women I've interacted with now, I've interacted probably with different races more so now, but more black. But I've been interacting with more black women now, which has been good, like I said. In terms of other races, I mean, it's been the same. Like, I think this notion that certain races of women are a certain way, I just think is kind of bullshit to me, because I think some women have a certain mentality or certain way of doing things the same way men do. It's just a matter of finding that, because again, I've had other women, like white women, ask me, what's your intentions, and is stuff like that. So I mean, I can't just single out black women and say that only black women do it. I just find that a majority of black women that I've talked to have done that, but it's not to say that other races haven't done that. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I've had bad or messed up, not messed up, but kind of shitty situations where situations with women kind of fizzled out and died out. But then with the black women, but I could say that about any other race too, right? So I just think I'm not really picky with race. I've never been picky with race. I'm more about the person, and I know that sounds cliche and cheesy, and most people probably think I'm full of shit saying this, but it really, for me, boils down to the person. It has to, like, because you could be beautiful as shit in my eyes. Like, I could see you and you are just beautiful, like gorgeous. You're like just amazing, like physically. But if I don't click with you and vibe with you on a personal level, on a level where we click personally or just from conversation, then it will not last very long, our interactions. So that's really what about it, So nothing controversial here. I'm not yelling and screaming like I did in the last one. But yeah, so that's really what it boils down to, just finding the right person and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm not like dating heavy as much as I was in the past, so I'm very selective with who I go out with and who I talk to. So if ladies are watching this, don't take it personally. It's not that I don't pick you. It's just, and also too, my schedule is very, very hectic now. I've had a very, very hectic schedule the past few weeks, and it's going to get more busy. So my time to really meet up with people has been very limited as well. So, and I'm trying to travel more as well and see the world and do all that stuff as well. So it's kind of hard, but I will try to make as much time as I humanly can, but there's only 24 hours in the day, right? So anyway, I don't want to talk too much and bore you guys to death, But I want to thank you guys for watching this vlog. Keep tuning in, keep subscribing. Hopefully tell your friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to subscribe and watch. I'm going to try to hit you guys up with some more stuff. You guys stay safe, stay blessed, stay happy. And I'm signing off. This is Big Mike's blog, and I'm out.